let's talk about The Closet.
It's a 3-issue series. 2 of them have already been released on his Substack. So we're 2/3 of the way done with this book. And it's really good.
It's very, very unsettling.
Based off of a recurring nightmare that he himself had, that James had as a child.
What?
Yeah.
I did not see that newsletter.
You did not see that part?
I did not see that part.
Oh, man. There was...
I just jumped into the book, man. When you see O'Halloran on there...
dig into the archives, man. Ugh.
I know.
But yes, did you say O'Halloran?
Yeah.
Chris O'Halloran, the colorist from Ice Cream Man.
Hell yeah.
Those gorgeous pastels that he always uses.
Dude.
Well, I'm a fan.
AWA makes a book. I know I'm going to like it. If O'Halloran's coloring a book, I'm going to like it.
Also, Gavin Fullerton does the art, the pencils in here.
So good.
It's a weird mix of like cute and adorable, but also very foreboding.
Oh,
It's a
to say
weird
the
mix.
least, man. This is a relationship book, dude.
The Closet.
Okay, look at this. This book makes me happy, dude. This was like, when reading this, the whole time I was thinking, I love being alive right now. In this time where comic books are a thing. Like, this is good stuff, man. This is good stuff. Okay, let's bring it to the screen. Look at this, The Closet. We got a child holding a doll. He's good at designing dolls.
That's a good point. Octo from Something's Killing the Children.
Yeah. There you go. So we have another one here. I don't know why this is, there it is. Okay. So we have The Closet. We have a child
honest.
and a doll. So issue 1. It's a
long issue too.
It's a long issue, and it's the thing that I enjoy about this book is that it's scary. It's unsettling. It's gonna make you feel uneasy. Absolutely. It's got some vibes of Nice House on the Lake to me, a little bit, because it's a little dreary.
Feeling. You know going in that something spooky is gonna happen,
right?
But it takes its time to get there and like reels you in with the human side of it.
Look at those colors.
Yeah, that's
him.
Chris. Yeah,
that's Chris. That's Chris. All right, so we have a comic book here that, yes, it's a horror comic. And it's about a child who may or may not have something in his closet.
in his closet.
I'm not going to tell you what it is. You don't need to know.
Probably clothes. I assume there's something malicious in there as well, but he could have clothes and toys.
It is Jimmy T.
Yeah, exactly.
It is Jimmy T.
Who knows?
You know, it's a horror book. So what we can say is that this child is not safe. It's worst case scenario. And we have a father who's just not
His name
making
is Tom.
the best decisions. And his name is Tom.
That's unfortunate.
It really is.
He's not a good guy.
Hey, I don't have any kids, man. So
This book makes me very grateful to not have children. That might not be the best thing to say or put out in the world.
no, it's like, hey, for those, I'm not someone who's
I'm not qualified.
Interested, you know, in
I'm not interested or
that.
qualified. I could not and should not raise a child.
For those of you who don't know, I grew up with little children. My father remarried when I was like 10 years old. So all my siblings are very young. And I was part of all of that growing up. Like, you know, did everything but change diapers.
Ooh.
I did everything but change diapers. But like, you know, putting my sister to sleep at night, making sure that you're doing everything right, feeding, rocking in the chair. I did all of that stuff, making sure she had her Elmo on rewind 100 times. Like I went through all
Like
of
a
that.
VHS. Okay.
No, just everything.
Gotcha.
It's like you have to. It's the kids. They find a movie they like. They want to watch it over and over and over again.
In retrospect, I feel like that's the easy stuff, especially when you get to the stuff that goes on in this book.
It's the older stuff, man. I was there for that, some of that too. But like, this right here is the difficulties. You know, once you hit to age 4, things start getting kind of you kind of get tired. You know, it's years of doing the hard work and the balance of a relationship with your significant other, your wife, or your partner, whatever it is, and raising a child and doing it to the best of your ability. It's very taxing. And we are finding Tom, not me.
Different Tom.
Also
with glasses.
Also with glasses, yes. And a little scruff. Yeah, it's okay.
Unlike Tom.
Unlike me. So he is struggling.
This is the first page, right?
Yeah.
He's in a bar drinking by himself. That's not having a good time.
James does that really well. First page, let me show you what this is all going to be about. This one is not available for free. For The Closet, you have to be a subscriber to get this. So with the samples that we have here have no dialogue on them, right? Or at least this first page doesn't. It has dialogue.
Does it?
It does have dialogue. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. Jimmy T. It's
But
worth it.
basically, you get this scene of him drinking alone at a bar, and throughout his conversation with the bartender, you find out that the husband here, the father Tom, he is avoiding this situation at home right now. He is stalling for time. They are packing up to move out of their house, and he has been sent out to go buy more tape for boxes. And he's going to tell her a lie and say the first store he went to was out of tape. It's a weird excuse, but he's going to use that time to go get drunk at a bar and complain.
That's right. He's doing stuff that he thinks in his head, hey, you know what? We need space. This is a good reason. It's a white lie. But those types of things build up. And if you're doing that constantly, you're doing something that's super damaging to your relationship, and he's feeling that burden, which is why he is at a bar. It's why he's drinking. And this whole book, yes, it's about something in the child's closet that he's terrified of. It's about something supernatural, maybe. I'm not going to give it away, but it's also about relationships. It's about that struggle of holding it together.
This is a 3-member family, right? You have a mother, father, and a young son, and they are very fractured. This kid is very traumatized. He sees a monster in his closet, and his parents don't believe him because he's a 4-year-old. Every 4-year-old says there's a monster in my closet. I'm scared of the dark, yada, yada. Nobody believes him. And
he's getting mad at his son. He's taking this anger from his relationship, and he's being a kind of a bad parent.
It's uncomfortable as hell.
It is very uncomfortable to read, and that's what James wants you to feel.
Yeah, that's true.
And he does such a good job.
I would like to think that I would not do this as a father if I were one.
Mm-hmm. You gotta. It's like a game. You know, you're dealing with a 4-year-old, right? So you have to kind of trick them into being okay, but in a very ethical and parental way.
In a way that will not damage their trust in humanity.
Yelling, there is nothing in your closet. Isn't gonna help? Isn't gonna make your
kid?
Yeah, it's
Monsters
not gonna.
aren't real, idiot.
Yeah, it's not gonna make them
doesn't work for
smarter. It's not gonna make them not scared, which is the goal, right? So I pulled this page out of here to emphasize this. The bartender, he
hell was that?
says to Tom that, hey, I have actually experienced this with my friend, his kids, and what they decided to do is to spray some water and say that this mist is actually going to be repellent. And he calls it unicorn piss.
Right. It's magical unicorn piss that keeps monsters away.
That's what it is, right? So this actually...
The bartender gives him a really good idea.
I think it's a great idea. It's so idea, what you do is you put some lavender and water and put it in a little spray bottle, and it's like, oh, hey, little fire guy. This is going to keep the monsters out. And it's lavender, and it's calming because it's lavender.
I'm the baby in this scenario?
You're the baby.
And you're my daddy.
I'm your daddy. Okay. You're the baby in this scenario. And I spray it, right? And then you're like, oh, it smells like lavender. Also, lavender helps you go to sleep, so boom. And your sinuses start to feel a little bit better.
Okay.
Right?
I'm learning all kinds of things right now.
Lavender, man, it's magical. Come on. Why do you think you have to harvest it in Dying Light?
Dying Light? The zombie game?
Yeah.
Oh, your PS5?
That's right. Asshole. I know, right? So, all right. So we have a great idea that's been thrown out, and this dad butchers it.
He goes home and he's wasted at this point. He's had 3 beers too many.
That's right.
He gets in trouble for getting the wrong kind of tape, for lying. And he tries to patch it up by being like, no, don't worry. I got this unicorn piss that we can use to... He does it so bad.
So what he does here is he fills up... He's like, oh, do we have a spray bottle we can use, honey? And she's like, we don't got anything. They're in the middle of a move. They're moving, right? They're trying to get a nice restart. So he just goes to the sink and pours water in a cup and says, oh, yeah, see, this is magic. And this is going to spray this in the closet and you're going to be good to go. And the kid literally is 4 years old. He's not that dumb. He's like, I just saw you got that from the sink, Dad.
I saw you.
So it doesn't really work out. He just butchered it. Now, I got to be careful here because I'm not relating this to my family in any way because of the comic, but there is a kind of a funny thing that made me think about, that I thought about when seeing this unicorn piss scene take place in this comic. So he butchers it because he's trying to do something to, help the kid not be scared.
Right.
But because he did it in a poor way, kind of just defeated the purpose, right? So my grandparents, who's no longer with us, but my grandma, amazing woman, Puerto Rican, didn't speak English, right? Half my family's in Puerto Rico, right? I don't speak a whole lot of Spanish. Didn't as a kid either. So it was a different type of relationship. But loved her to death, right? And I lost a tooth. And I was really excited to lose a tooth. First off, my grandpa just like ripped my teeth out.
Yeah.
I had a loose tooth. It's like a thing. He's like, oh no, I'll do what I did to all the
My dad tried
kids.
to do that with me once. I said, you back the hell off, sir. I'm letting it fall out. You're not going to yank it out of my head.
I never was worried. I was so, I felt so protected by my grandparents that it was like, oh yeah, grandpa's going to get his, it's like a red bandana. He had like a red bandana, like handkerchiefs and stuff like that. It's always clean, He's like, goes to his drawer, picks out like a fresh bandana. All right, sit on my lap. His tooth's got to come out. And he would just pull that out. Just yanked it out.
My dad tried to do the whole tie the string around the doorknob or whatever, like some kind of medieval torture stuff. It's like, nope. Even like bite into the apple and let your tooth just come out.
No.
I'm not eating an apple. Get out of here.
Ryan doesn't eat apples. He eats pizza 24/7.
It'll fall out when it falls out, Dad.
I don't want to do my homework.
Yeah.
So I lost a tooth. This is like one of the first times, right? I went through this process, right? So I got the tooth. I really wanted to, I was saving up for something. I don't remember what I was saving up for, but I put it under my pillow. Actually, no. Someone told me at some point that if you put the tooth in water and put that by your bedside, you'll get more money.
Because it's easier than reaching under the pillow.
Because it's easier.
From the parents' perspective. Okay,
I think that's what it actually was. But so I wrote a note and I'm like, hey, I came up with something asking for more because I was being a greedy little kid, right?
Give me the cash.
Give me the cash. I couldn't sleep, dude. I was like so excited all day. I'm like, oh, finally, I'm gonna get my $10 to get my, toys from, Kmart or whatever it was at the time. So I woke up the next day and there was nothing there. And I was super distraught. It wasn't like screaming or something, but I was like, oh no. So I went to like Catholic school in Buffalo, New York. My dad lived further away from the Catholic school. So I did a lot of my like schooling days with my grandparents, at least till at night. Sometimes I stayed there if it was more convenient. So I saw my dad on the weekends a lot, and he would end up moving in the back of a comic book store, and I lived there with him eventually too. And that's how that all connects, right? But I'm a little kid, right? Starting to lose teeth. I'm like, Dad, there was no money. I lost my tooth. The tooth fairy didn't show up. What? Why? What did I do? Why did the tooth fairy not show up? So this is a story about how I stopped, the first moment I stopped believing the tooth fairy, because my dad's like, oh, hold on, Tom, let me talk to your grandma. Again, all in Spanish. I'm watching my grandma talk to my dad on the phone, and she's like, huh? Okay. Money? What? And she was like in disbelief that this was a thing. She didn't know. Or if she knew, she didn't think that, she thought we were like too good for this. She's like, oh, it's like this Puerto Rican family. Yeah, we don't have any freaking money. We're in the West Side in Buffalo, New York, right? Like, you want me to give money for your tooth? And she just starts talking. She's speaking fast in Spanish. I'm catching every other word, but I still remember it. She goes, okay, Tuto. His nickname is Tuto. Hangs up the phone. She looks at me and goes, Tooth Fairy left your money in my wallet. Let me go get my wallet. So that was the day that I realized that the Tooth Fairy was not real.
At least you're.
I'm like, Grandma, what? She's like, no, yeah, they flew, and she was like,
at least you tried a little.
At least Tom tried a little with the unicorn piss.
Okay, that's how you're bringing all this back.
I'm bringing it all back. So that's what it made me remind me of. Hit the subscribe button. That's why we're here. Let's talk about some funny books. So, unicorn piss doesn't go well. Doesn't go well. And they're going on a move. They're packing up. But the important thing is this, comic fam.
Colors.
We have the colors.
So good.
We have the child, and we have the door. Is there something behind the door? What do you think, Butch?
That was perfect timing, Butch. Thank you.
Butch is here. He's getting a little antsy because Ryan,
I'm not petting him.
He's not petting him
as much. It's not allowed.
So, what's behind the door? You're going to have to read it to find out. I will not spoil this book for you. It's too damn good.
Starting the auction off at $1 for 1 minute, like we always do.
This is one of our favorite covers, and you got it.
A little bit of that, what y'all been looking for, right? A little bit of that, what y'all been looking for, right?